All right, guys, how's it going? Have you missed me? I've not been around the last few days. I had a bit of a long weekend and I was paying for it a bit yesterday. How are you doing? You all right? I did actually on Saturday morning put out a morning briefing on my other YouTube channel where I discuss cop talk and things like that, just a bit more behind the scenes kind of thing. And I said on Saturday, oh, I've got this video planned, that video planned and all this. And I didn't get around to doing it, unfortunately. So I'm not really sure whether it's worth touching on those topics. But I'm playing catch up a little bit because of those couple of days. And one thing that I want to discuss with you, if I can get rid of these adverts on my screen, is this exclusive. So this is today's exclusive. All right. Now, it was actually out yesterday, and I'm sure you guys are aware of it, those of you that are on social media. And we're going to go over it because obviously Jeremie Frimpong is a name that's been mentioned a lot with Liverpool at the moment. And the other day, I'm sure I mentioned it on here, but I did actually do this article here behind me on coptalk.com. If you go to coptalk.com and you'll see this big article about could he be Liverpool's answer to Trent Alexander-Arnold? And it's a very, if you want to learn a little bit about him, it's quite a detailed article. It's got the comparison chart here that attributes, Trent versus Frimpong. The defensive concerns, is it a concern for a worry? He struggles with his one-on-one defending and can be caught out when defending deep, particularly against tricky wingers. Aerial duels at 5'7", he's vulnerable against physical forwards, a concern in the Premier League's intense environment. System dependency. Leverkusen's 3 at the back setup makes his defensive flaws, masks his defensive flaws, but a flat back four exposes them. It's a really good article. Well, I would say that I wrote it, but what I mean is it's a really good, interesting article because I learned about him when I worked on that article a few days ago. So maybe if you're interested, I don't know, because some people think that Frimpong can't defend. He's more of an attacking player. So you're replacing Trent, who can't defend, according to some people, with a similar sort of thing. I don't know. Anyway, the idea here is to review this exclusive, not that one. No. Oh, where is it? Let's get it back on the screen. There we go. This exclusive. All right. So, there we go. Let me get the words in. There we go. Can you get me in? We definitely need widescreen where I'm concerned. Right, let's go through it. Now, remember, when I review an exclusive, I can't read it all to you because I'm not allowed to. I can analyse it. I will leave out bits that are self-explanatory. You know who Frimpong is. You know that Liverpool just won the league, things like that. It's not to make anything look good or bad one way or the other. And remember, the more ads, the more bullshit. This has got an ad blocker on behind me. But if you were to attempt to browse, this website, you're going to get slaughtered with advertising and, stuff that's just where an advert would be, but it's failing to load or whatever. Videos, all adverts, really, to be honest with you. This website, Devo C Cop or whatever, I don't think the fans really like it too much. I don't know. I don't think there's any decent Liverpool sites around anymore, to be honest with you, apart from Cop Talk, obviously. But I don't know. It's not for me to say, really. It's this website, to be honest with you, and the effort that goes into it would be quite nice if it wasn't dominated in the advertising and didn't post a lot of posts, tweets or whatever on Twitter, X, whatever it's called now, always flogging stuff. It's just, I understand that people have to make a living, but it does lower the credibility sometimes when there's too much. Because don't forget, I know how it all works, right? So anyway, it's for you guys to decide about that. It's certainly not for me to tell people what they can and can't do on their websites. So anyway, the exclusive, we're going to look at the exclusive to see if we think it is genuine or not, right? And it says here, Devo C Cop can exclusively reveal that the representatives of Jeremie Frimpong and Liverpool FC are due to hold preliminary talks today. Now, as soon as I saw the word preliminary, that made me think, is there going to be a disclaimer here? Because when you, as an author of a news article, to use the word preliminary is kind of a get-out clause because you're not really telling people that in-depth detailed talks took place. Do you know what I mean? So if you run an exclusive and say, well, there's preliminary talks lined up, and nothing happens, people can pull you up later and say, you say, no, it was only preliminary talks. It wasn't detailed talks, advanced talks, extent. Do you know what I mean? So immediately I'm thinking, that I'm looking for the get out in every exclusive that I read. And now, they're talking about Trent's departure, and the name circulating Jeremie Frimpong has rapidly emerged as the frontrunner in both domestic and international reports. The thing I would say there is that doesn't give it more strength if you're hearing about it internationally, unless it is an outlet that is claiming, or reporting something that is unique, because what happens is, if the British media are banging on about this, then the German media will then cite the British media. So just because it says internationally as well, it's like, well, who internationally is saying it, right? Liverpool are interested in the right back. I would agree with that. I think Liverpool are interested in the right back, to be honest with you. And we've said that for quite some time on here, before it's really grown to where it is now in terms of the intense speculation that we are seeing. And before we go any further, I'll tell you right now that, in my opinion, this deal is stacked. It's a term, a coin, I coined a phrase years ago, I just call it stacked, where when Liverpool have stacked a deal, I believe that all the parties involved in it know it can happen. So Liverpool stack a deal knowing that they can fall onto it at any time. I'm sure the last time I used that phrase was Ryan Gravenberg. I can't remember, to be honest with you. You guys will remember. And I said he'll either be the first one in the door or he'll be signed right at the end of the window, end of the fucking window, yeah. So with this in my opinion, I know my long-term viewers and they will understand what I mean when I say stacked. So stacked to me is player wants it, the club, the owning club either agree to it or can't do much about it. And the club that's interested, i.e. Liverpool, know they can put it over the line at any time if they want to, right? And that's the key bit here, right? So my opinion, you've got all these different journalists who are contradicting themselves at the moment, right? So you've got David Lynch, who many call Captain Obvious, saying that it's not going to happen or it's very unlikely. He doesn't think that he would be surprised if Liverpool signed him, kind of thing. But you'd need to listen to his quotes to get the all of that in context or whatever. You've then got people, putting his name forward, people like Joyce. But you've got to remember that as much as we listen to Joyce and Ornstein, there's propaganda there as well. In my opinion, the club want you to know about this, right? So I think the club want you to know about this. I think that's why we're hearing a lot about it. And remember, when you do get such intense coverage of an individual player, you should be saying to you, why am I hearing it? Like, who does it benefit? You know what I mean? But I think it's stacked. So before we continue reviewing the exclusive, what we're supposed to be doing, my opinion is that Liverpool know they can conclude this deal at any time if they want to, right? So that therefore means that maybe they will just take their time and see and consider and see what the spend elsewhere may be, or maybe they will look at other options. But in my opinion, this deal is stacked, all right? So this is talking about Bayer Leverkusen. The player continues to produce elite attacking statistics. After we revealed the structure of his release clause, Dave Seacock can now exclusively reveal. So they'd revealed before, but now they're exclusively revealing. I always think it sounds a bit childish when these people big themselves up. That Liverpool's pursuit of Jeremie Frimpong has accelerated, with his representative returning to the UK to conduct preliminary talks with the Anfield hierarchy. We can exclusively reveal that talks are due to take place today. This is yesterday, I believe. And then, so how can an agent physically visit somewhere or someone and hold preliminary talks? That doesn't make sense to me. It's like you put Richard Hughes in a room with the representative, But the agent's only coming for preliminary talk. So at some point in the conversation, do they then cut off and go, we can't go any further, this is only preliminary. Don't be mentioning figures and things like that. It's preliminary talks. So it's making me question this exclusive, to be honest with you. It is. And then I would argue that there is then another get out, if you like, because I think they're using the word preliminary. The preliminary talks, it does happen, but I think that's more like that. Like, hey, would you be interested? Well, what are you thinking? Do you know what I mean? But to get on a flight and go somewhere and sit down and only have preliminary talks just seems a bit weird to me. It seems like a get out. And this seems like a get out as well, where it says, while it's important to stress that talks are by no means advanced, emphasizing, we can exclusively reveal that, quote, things could change and move quickly. Well, a lot of things could move fucking quickly, couldn't they? Things could move quickly. Tell us it's going to move quickly. And it's going to happen. Considering the player's €35 million release clause, which is £29.6 million. And I think that this player's availability, the fact he can slot in that side, the fact he does give an option, might not be the greatest defender in the world, might be a different type of player that for slot, the way he wants to play or whatever, it's a good price. And I think that's why we've seen a lot of people jump on it, because it's an obvious one. These journalists, if you think about it, I'm not putting this in the category of journalists, to be honest with you, but when we're talking about the proper journalists, the ones that went to university, the ones that, got medical, they think they're journalists, they think they're great or whatever. There seem to be at the moment that no one comes out with anything that's fucking different. Like, you and I could have wrote this, or wrote any article. I don't want to pick on this one, but we could have wrote any article about Frimpong recently. The same way that you can Alvarez and fucking what's his name, Nunes. Do you know what I mean? Like, where's the journalist out there that's telling us actually Liverpool are going for some, and we all go, "Oh, the fuck's that?" Do you know what I mean? Oh, that's a bit, that deal would be quite difficult to make happen. So what we're seeing is deals that all of us could go, well, it's just a bit of common sense, really. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean, don't you guys? So, the €35 million payment, payable in 4 instalments, as we reported. The article's just full of, we revealed, we exclusively told you. As we reported, it's like, aren't we fucking good? No one cares. I don't think there's anyone. Do you care who tells you something? Who remembers? Do you know what I mean? Like, who gives a fuck who's first? People just want to know the facts, right? So instead of giving us coulds, maybes, ifs, preliminary, the article's spending more time telling us how fucking good they are, or how good they want you to think they are. And that loses credibility with me. And I've done it. I've done it on my own website, coptalk.com, over the years. But I was a young lad, and when a lad launches a website in his bedroom and it takes off and becomes as big as it did, right? And I say it did in the past tense because these days people don't really read a lot of news articles, I think, and the members website kind of replaced all of that. When you feel like you've achieved something, you're like, wow. Do you know what I mean? Like, wow, yeah, we did fucking tell you first. Do you know what I mean? But now as a 50-year-old fucking fully grown man, or I'd like to think I am, definitely grown, it's like, I don't give a fuck if anyone, I don't need to record a video and go, well, I told you first, guys. Do you know what I mean? Like, no one cares. Just give us the fucking news, all right? And tell us something that we don't already know. Just scrolling past some adverts. Liverpool are also continuing to do their diligence in the market aside from Jeremie Frimpong, with Monaco's Van der Sar represent a more traditional profile at right back. So again, this is like another get out for me. This is like, we're running an exclusive to tell you that about this player that Liverpool want to sign or might want to sign, but it's riddled with get outs and other options. And in fairness, I'm not really sure the article says anything wrong, because Liverpool will speak to different players and might, decide to do something or not do something. I just don't believe it's an exclusive. I think it'd be very easy for me to come on here to you and to make an exclusive and tell you all this. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I've spoke to my source, and he says there's going to be talks today, because they're announcing or claiming that there's going to be talks, preliminary talks, at a time when the suggestion is everywhere. So run an exclusive and tell us about talks for another player that's not being mentioned by anyone. That's a fucking exclusive, because we'd all be like, oh, wow. So player linked with Liverpool by everyone at the fucking moment, right? Suddenly his agent's going to have talks with Liverpool, but might not be able to pull it off. So, make it sound, so it's just preliminary talks, innit? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Where's the exclusive saying contracts will be signed tomorrow at 2 p.m? I don't believe the exclusive. I'm sorry. And I'm not being mean. I just don't believe it. Because it's obvious. Liverpool are interested. Liverpool do want to know what kind of salary the player would be on, would want. Liverpool do want to know how to make a deal work. They will know all of this. The deal is stacked, in my opinion. Liverpool know they can sign this player if they want to. So they've got to do all that stuff, and it's all fairly straightforward and common sense to me, in my opinion. Now, I'm not one for adverts. Oh, I was going to show you a cracking advert then. I think it might be based on my browser history, so I better be careful. He's close friends with Ryan Gravenberch and has friendly relations with Virgil van Dijk, yeah, but not as friendly as Jude and Trent, you know what I'm saying? Liverpool hope to conduct their business early as Arne Slot looks to add more firepower to his side in the hope of another title challenge. Look at this, look, it's like browsing a catalogue when you're like fucking 10. So what do you think? Was that a cracking exclusive? Do you believe it? I'm not for 1 minute saying like they're full of shit, but I'm just saying that I analyse all these things, and I see it just anyone. You could have come on here today and said, "Don't, I think the agents are going to meet Liverpool." No shit. Do you know what I mean? So run an exclusive. Give the fans an exclusive of someone that we've not been linked with. His agents are going to be there, and it is preliminary talks, and maybe this and maybe that. But to pick a name out that we all know Liverpool have an interest in, that it all could make sense, isn't really exciting for me, to be honest with you. And Lynch says no. Joyce has name-checked him, I think. Fabrizio Romano, I won't shout his name. Fabrizio Romano, has also said the obvious, I think. I think Liverpool are interested. We've said that for a while on here. And I think he's stacked. That's my opinion, if it's worth anything. All right, guys, I'll leave you with it. I'm going to do a live stream on here now. And if there's anything that you want me to talk about, please drop a comment. I did upload a morning briefing today on my other YouTube channel, at Duncan Oldham, where I talk about things behind the scenes. I've got a problem with a game up at Barcelona. I want you to help me out with what you think I should do. Go and check the morning briefing. That's where I give my shout outs and everything every day when I do them. And Golazo España, my other YouTube channel about Spanish football, has been updated with today's news. I've got more things for you. Hopefully I'll get those with you later today. All right. If you appreciate the video, please thumbs up the video. If you want to buy me a beer or a coffee, I prefer a coffee, to be honest with you, after the weekend, you can hit the super thanks button. It's a love heart under the video. And I'll give you a shout out in tomorrow morning's morning briefing. All right, guys, I really appreciate your comments on this one. Take it from me, I think Liverpool have got him stacked, and if they want to get it over the line, they can.